All right, it's Dr. Letitia Wright, and this is the crowdfunding presentation for the CCMERA Small Business Funding event. I am so sorry I can't be with you, but I wanted to give you this presentation to explain business crowdfunding. Business crowdfunding has been so confused and so put aside and so missed. I really want people to understand what it is because it can be a really great opportunity for you and your business. Business crowdfunding is used around the world. It's not just in the United States, it's all over the country. As a matter of fact, I teach all over the country and all over the world. I teach for international business schools in Thailand, Holland. Next year, I'll be teaching in Vietnam and in India and Singapore. So people all over the world are interested in how crowdfunding works for their business in terms of funding their business. It's definitely something that you should think about. So what exactly is crowdfunding? A lot of people are familiar with GoFundMe, but we're talking about business crowdfunding and not personal crowdfunding. So what I'm going to share with you today does not pertain to getting your hospital bills paid. This does not pertain to getting your car fixed, helping someone who's sick, getting your rent paid. This is not what I'm talking about today. We're talking about raising funds for businesses or actual non-profit corporations. Okay? Here's what crowdfunding is. Crowdfunding is the practice of funding a project or a venture by raising many small amounts of money from a large number of people, typically via the internet. And I say typically via the internet because one of the places where it's done in person is you can crowdfund in person in some place like your church or your synagogue because people will give you, the holy handshake and put cash in your hand. And that is crowdfunding. That is a type of crowdfunding. Now that being said, there are different types of crowdfunding and we're going to go into those different types of crowdfunding because each of the different types of crowdfunding have different rules to make them successful. Crowdfunding is not donating money to your business. Crowdfunding is not getting money for your business in exchange of nothing. It's not going online and saying, hey, give me money for my business. People are not interested in donating to a business. A donation is for charity. Your business needs to be something that's viable and can work. People are interested in investing. People are interested in supporting something that's going to work. But if you just need money because you can't make your business work, that's not something that people are into. Now, why learn it? Why should you learn crowdfunding? Why would someone even bother learning crowdfunding? That's a very good question. I was working with someone and she said, my business partner, both of them are very, very successful. And she said, my business partner said, why would somebody successful bother to learn crowdfunding? Well, crowdfunding today is in 2018, $289 billion changed hands in crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is not something that, is for people that are just broke. People who are very wealthy are using it to leverage. It's leverage. That means putting in a small amount of money and getting in a large amount of money. You can use crowdfunding to help your colleagues in business. In other words, you can work with colleagues and you guys can leverage the market and really dominate. So it's a great way to do that. You can use crowdfunding to help with your marketing and stay top of market, climb ahead of everybody else. Now, if you need to know the history of marketing, I don't have time to share that with you in this particular presentation, but I do have a place where you can read about the history of crowdfunding so you can understand how crowdfunding was built up and how it got started. So simply go to rightplacetv.com/history, and that webpage will share the history of crowdfunding. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's there, it's free. You don't have to put your email in or anything like that. It's there and it's free. But some of you would like to understand the history of crowdfunding, how President Obama came to be signing it in and all of that good stuff. I've been around for 7 years. It's old hat, lot of history, lot of changes. I don't really take time to go into that because that's a whole class by itself. Crowdfunding accidents. A lot of you have heard about crowdfunding an accident. Just want to let you know. Again, we're not talking about that. Some of you might have heard of whimsical types of crowdfunding projects that have made a lot of money. This project was done years ago on Kickstarter, and get this, it was called potato salad. Yeah, potato salad. So potato salad made over $55,000, and this when this was going on, I hated doing classes because I knew people were going to say, well, what is happening with potato salad? Like, why is it making so much money? That's crazy. Because this guy was not giving you potato salad. He was giving you a picture of the potato salad. He was going to make the potato salad, and he was going to give you a picture of the potato salad. And if you gave him money, you could name some ingredients in the potato salad, and you could get a picture, but you weren't getting any potato salad. He wasn't trying to make potato salad to give to people. He was just going to show you a picture, and he didn't know how to make potato salad, and so he was getting suggestions from people, and he was going to put it all together, and that was going to be the potato salad. It was crazy. It was $55,000 from 6,000, almost 7,000 people. And of course, people tried to come and copy it, and they couldn't copy it. This was whimsical, and it made a lot of money, and people were like, why does it make money? And I just kept saying, I don't know. I'm in the business and I have no idea. That's a whimsical kind of one-of-a-kind kind of thing. And finally, a friend of mine in crowdfunding, David Corman in California, called me, and we were talking about something else. No, I think I called him, and we were talking about something else, and he said, hey, I know what's going on with potato salad. And he is like so brilliant. And he says the guy that did potato salad was an ex-employee at Kickstarter. As an ex-employee of Kickstarter, he had some intimate knowledge of the algorithms. And so he had knowledge on how to build that and how to make that be successful. So he had some, he could do some things that we really could not do. So I'm just going to say that probably, was something you can't repeat. And I want to teach you about crowdfunding ways that you can repeat for your business, not something whimsical. A lot of people are crowdfunding for their wedding. I don't really recommend that. It's a stressful time for your wedding. Crowdfunding and planning a wedding, that's a lot of work. If you don't get funded, the bride is going to be very emotional and her feelings are going to be hurt. And if everybody's not on board, it's just a big emotional thing. So I don't really recommend that. So who am I? Why should you listen to me? I'm Dr. Letitia Wright. I'm America's crowdfunding strategist. And I've been teaching and training entrepreneurs on crowdfunding their business for years. I've helped people raise millions of dollars, and it is about really shifting the money to entrepreneurs where the doors were closed to you from banks. Now they're open. Now people who are unsophisticated investors can now invest in your business, and the time is now for you to take advantage of it. So I've been doing this for quite some time. Gordon Bazar is a very successful businessman, and he says everyone should know about crowdfunding because it can do some great things for your business. So let's go into that. It was $289 billion in 2018 changed hands in crowdfunding. So this is not anything small. This is really, really isn't. Kentucky Fried Chicken has done crowdfunding. Canon has done crowdfunding. Um, there are celebrity businessmen who have done crowdfunding. It's there. It's working. People are doing it every day, and they're doing it successfully. Bitcoin, the way the money was raised, not the technology, but the way the money was raised is built on crowdfunding. Now, they don't say we're crowdfunding when they're gathering money for a new type of cryptocurrency, but that's what it is. It is done with crowdfunding. It is not about I'm broke and help me with money. It's about here's my business, invest in it or help me leverage it, and let's work together and let's all make money together. Crowdfunding is about turning clients into investors. You're turning your buyers into investors. It's a very, very different mindset. So there are 6 types of crowdfunding, which is why you may be getting mixed up as to how to do what, where, and how to make it happen. There's reward-based crowdfunding. There are crowd-funded loans. There is equity-based crowdfunding. There is charity-based crowdfunding. There is subscription crowdfunding, and then there is civic crowdfunding, which is a partnership with the government. So let's talk about that because each of those have different rules that make them successful. You cannot use the rules of reward-based crowdfunding with equity-based crowdfunding. You can't use the rules of equity-based crowdfunding with subscription crowdfunding and be successful. They all have different rules. Now, if you'd like a list of the 140 crowdfunding sites that I recommend, you can go to getcrowdfundednow.com, and this is not quite right. It's 140-3. So it's 140-3. You can get that list. So if you want investors, you will be using Crowdfunding CF or Reg A or what's called Reg D. Those are the 3 types if you're looking for investors. The crowdfunding CF is great because it enables companies to offer and sell securities. That means that you can sell stocks, and it permits a company to raise a maximum of $1,070,000 every 12 months. And there is a lot of times you have to hire an accountant. But if you raise less than 100,000, if you cap it at 100,000, you don't have to bring in an accountant. You can turn in those numbers. Your CEO can turn in your numbers, and you save some money with the accountant. So it's very, very popular. Then there's Reg A. Now, the rules of that, and you have to use an SEC site, the rules of that are that this is equity crowdfunding. You can offer your securities, and you can offer investors everything. You can't be doing any fraud or anything like that. You have to have accurate disclosures, but you can do all of the offerings just like everybody else who's on the stock exchange. That's very, very exciting. The Reg D 506B rule says that you cannot advertise. Okay? You can sell to an unlimited number of accredited investors and up to 35 other investors. That means that they're not accredited. You have to, you can't violate any anti-fraud. You must provide the non-accredited and the accredited investors with the same information. So you can't give one set of investors one kind of information and another set of investors another kind of information. And a company representative must be available to answer questions for the prospective buyer. So you can't just put something up on the web and nobody can talk to an actual person. They're just getting a fact sheet or just, email stuff. You have to have an actual representative. With Reg D, there's a slight difference between the 506 and the 506C and B, whether or not they can solicit people with ads, and whether they can sell to only accredited investors. The companies have to take reasonable measures to verify that their investors are indeed accredited. The crowdfunding platforms that operate under the 506C, they typically seek investors to register as either accredited or non-accredited before allowing them to make their first investment, and they generally ask to review tax forms, W-2s, and statements from the institutions. So those are very, very serious. They're not free. You can't sign up for these for free. They take a serious investment. If you're doing Reg D, Reg A, you need to have some money in your pocket to make that happen. There are crowd-funded loans or peer-funded loans, and the way they work is that they're not so much focused on your credit rating. They're focused on the story, why you need the money. And you get to say what the interest rate is that you'll pay and what the terms are. And then the other people say, okay, I will help you with that. And they're investing. For them, it's an investment. If they can, for me, if I can get somebody to pay me 10, 12, 14% on my money, that's a good deal for me. And then if you're going to be a good citizen with that loan and pay me back, it's all good. Now, you do have to be very careful. Right now, a lot of the crowd-funded loan sites are just loan sites. When you get there, they've been purchased by loan sites. They're out of business and been purchased by loan sites, and it's just getting another loan. It's not really a crowd-funded loan. So you have to be very careful. So what companies have used crowdfunding? People are really confused about that. What companies? Well, the unicorns have all used crowdfunding. SpaceX has used crowdfunding. Airbnb has used crowdfunding. Uber has used crowdfunding. So this is not something that some little companies do because they just can't make it and they're crippled and they're in trouble. This is just a regular part of business. It is something people utilize every single day. And because African Americans and people of color tend to not get access to cash, crowdfunding is an excellent way to bring access to cash to your business. So let's talk about some pre-sale or Kickstarter type of crowdfunding cases. I just want to show you some success cases. So this is the Evolution pants. Now, pants were not invented when this person made pants. We were all wearing pants way before this came along. But if you notice, they made, let me go back to that. They made 92,000, and they still have almost a month to go on this. Okay? When you have a crowd, when you have it planned out, you can really, really create something with your tribe. Let me show you another one. Shoes. These people did not invent shoes. We're all wearing shoes. It's 500,000, almost $600,000, okay, on these dress shoes. This transformer table. They didn't invent this. I'm pretty sure. I remember my grandmother's table used to open up like this so we could all sit around it and have Thanksgiving dinner. I don't, have her table anymore, but I do have her old antique. Now it's an antique Singer sewing machine. $383,000, $383,546. Okay, for this table. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of, there's almost 300 people that really want this table. I don't know. Hey, you have to have a group of people who want your product. Here is a mag Galite, Creativity Without Boundaries. This is something for creatives. They'll know what this is. But my point is there's $443,000 that was made on this. So this is a pre-sale. This means that they already sold this much of it before they made it. And this is the kind of thing that you do on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Here's another one. Fix your posture while you sleep. It got fully funded. In other words, they raised the first 15,000 in 14 hours. So that's almost $1,000 an hour. They sold all these pillows, but they made $88,000. Fix your posture while you sleep pillow. Amazing stuff that you can do when you're organized. Here's a bonus case. Kentucky Fried Chicken did some crowdfunding. They crowdfunded this hot tub. If so many people, put in money, they would make this hot tub and you could get the hot tub. They had some other things that didn't work. They had a cane that was a remote control for a TV. They had the Colonel's little tie that was like a locator, so when the person put on a tie, you could locate them. That wasn't so great. They also had an ice skating show with like chicken legs, ice skating, and a Colonel with a big head. It was pretty horrible. That didn't go. They had to raise $2 million to make that happen. That didn't go. But curiously enough, the hot tub did go. Now, all of this is just a marketing thing. The guy in the hot tub is an actor who plays this person who's inventing all this stuff that's supposed to be crowdfunded. And it's really just a marketing ploy to get everybody interested in what KFC is doing. And, it worked. It worked. That's the marketing key of crowdfunding. It brings attention to your products and services. There's real estate investing that you can do with Realty Mogul. When you invest, anywhere from $5,000 and up, you're going to be getting a monthly cash flow return. So there's some place to put if you've got a savings that's just sitting there instead of sitting there and getting 1.0%, you could be getting a good cash flow return. These guys raised $131,000 with First Democracy with investors. I think they did this on Indiegogo on products that they wanted to invest. They got Mark Cuban to invest, and it was through crowdfunding. So this is not something on the side. This is not something broke people do. This is real business, and it's part of business. Sweat this was investments, and what it is a cosmetic for women who are doing athletics. And it came out of watching some of the women athletes at the Olympics. People were complaining their hair was messy, their skin was messy, they didn't look nice while they were winning gold medals. Okay, that's ridiculous, but whatever. So this makeup is for women athletes so they can look good and not sweat it off. The investment was funded at $124,000. They've since had a second round and grown from there, but this is when they first started, and so they're getting investments. Subscription. Let's talk about subscription. This guy is getting $46,499 a month for his podcast. That's right, his podcast. You can subscribe to his podcast, and if you're making $46,000 a month, you're living pretty good, I think. That is a type of crowdfunding. There is a straw called Final Straw. Final Straw made almost $2 million, and they did it crowdfunding, meaning they sold $2 million worth of straws before they made them. Okay, and these are straws that you can use so that you're not using plastic straws and hurting the environment. You can also use crowdfunding investing techniques with U-Haul. U-Haul has direct investing. That is a type of crowdfunding. You can go to U-Haul Investment Club and you can invest in a truck, you can invest in real estate, you can invest in a sign, you can invest in a dolly, and you get dividends back every single quarter. And the lowest investment is $100. Your kids get $100 worth of birthday money. Instead of spending it all up or buying some tennis shoes or whatever it is you're going to do, put it into U-Haul and let them be making money and show them how they're making money. Even if they're making a tiny bit of money, some of you are like, well, they put in $100, they're only making like $1.50 a month. Stop complaining. Show your children how to make money. So that's the end of my presentation. This is me with Rosie the elephant. She lives in Paris, California. That's her at her home. Um, don't worry, she's not a circus elephant. She lives on a beautiful farm, and she lives with two other elephants and horses, and she lives a great life. She's the elephant from Dumbo Drop. Very cool lady. So I've given you a lot of information, and the question is, how do you eat the elephant? Well, the truth is, we don't eat elephants. That's totally gross. Elephants are our friends. But if you're still interested in crowdfunding, if it seems like it makes sense for you, number one, if you want the sites, here it is right here. You can go to this link with the -3. If you want to talk to me, you can go to meetwithdrwright.com right here. That will set up a meeting for you. This is my personal email and the office phone number, and you can go to rightplacetv.com or to getcrowdfundednow.com and get all of the information that you need to sign up for consulting and that sort of thing. I hope this was helpful for you. I apologize for not being at the event. I had a family event that I just was trying to crush too many things in and just couldn't make it. But I know this is a wonderful event and I can't wait to be there next year. Remember, ignoring one's conscience is neither safe nor right. And I'll talk to you soon.